Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and I want to do a quick podcast on gaslighting because gaslighting is like your key to recognize somebody who's toxic. And this is one of the tactics that narcissists use in order to manipulate you is to gaslight you. So a lot of people don't even realize exactly what gaslighting is, or they don't recognize what it is, or when somebody's gaslighting them. It's like this, you guys. Gaslighting is when the narcissist says something that distorts your sense of reality. It's when they try to confuse you. So gaslighting is a tool that they use to confuse you, to deflect from them taking accountability. So when you bring something up to a narcissist, and you say something, you call them out on something that they did, they're going to do a couple of different gaslighting techniques. They may do the amnesia routine. Oh, I don't remember, or I can't recall, or that was way back then. I don't remember. Or why do you keep bringing up the past? All of this is deflection, to deflect from them answering the question, okay? Or they'll say something like, I honestly don't know what you're talking about. Usually when people use that word, I honestly don't know what you're talking about, that is a red flag that somebody is lying. A lot of liars like to use the word honestly, okay? Just that's a little tip for you. And it doesn't mean that everybody that says honestly is a narcissist, okay? I get these people that say this all the time. Well, I use the word honestly. I'm not a narcissist. We're not talking about you. We're talking about the narcissist, all right? Stop thinking in absolutes. But gaslighting is a way to, create confusion. So let's say the narcissist says to you, oh, I really like you. I really want you. Oh, I really love you. And, I want a future with you. They're telling you all this, but then their actions show you that they don't, because they never want to see you or they never call you. So it's not what they say, it's what they do that will show you who that person is, okay? So don't get caught up with what they tell you, all right? Or another thing that narcissists do when they gaslight is they tell you half a truth and the rest is lies. So you're recognizing that they're telling you a little bit of truth. Like if you say to them, where were you last night? And they say something like, oh, I stopped at the store and, this, that. And maybe they stopped at the store, but then they're giving you other bullshit in between that they weren't there, okay? This is how they confuse you. So gaslighting is just a way for the narcissist to confuse you, and the whole goal of gaslighting is to get out of taking accountability, so that it's to confuse you so that they don't have to answer the question. That's why I say, you know how you know somebody's lying? When you ask them a question, number one, do they hesitate? When somebody hesitates to answer that question, it's giving them time to think about what to say. But when it's the truth, there shouldn't be any hesitation. The other way you know somebody's lying is because they throw in a lot of detail of a lot of shit that you weren't asking, but they're trying to deflect the conversation. They may bring in their friend and start talking about their friend. Well, so-and-so was doing this, and then I stopped by the store and the dog was barking and I took the dog for a walk. They're not answering the question. They're bringing in a lot of word salad, and this is to confuse you. When somebody is a straight shooter, they will answer the question directly. There won't be hesitation. There won't be all this verbose words into it. They will answer the question directly, and it will be transparent and it will be clear. If it is not clear, most likely you have somebody who is gaslighting you and trying to confuse you, okay? So, you guys, you got to recognize, when you recognize that somebody's gaslighting you, you have to disengage from them, because you will never get the truth out of them. They will never own it. They will never own the truth. Like if you call them out and say, well, why didn't you call me? You had your phone, and they say, oh, my phone, the battery was dying, and, I don't know. I really don't know. I wasn't myself. I needed time to myself. And they're giving you all different kinds of excuses. They're trying to confuse you, okay? Because you're dealing with a shady person. Any kind of confusion equates to shadiness, equates to most likely you're dealing with a liar or you're dealing with somebody who has something to hide. And this is what they do when it comes to gaslighting, okay? Or the next way they gaslight you is instead of answering the question, they start insulting you, okay? They say things to you like, you're crazy, or I don't know where you come up with these things, or think what you want. Think what you want. When somebody says think what you want, they pretty much have checked out of the relationship and they could give a crap what you think. They're just going to do what they want and they're not going to answer your question, but instead they're just going to deflect and say, well, think what you want, okay? Or another way they try to do it is they'll say, why do you keep bringing up the past? Again, you keep bringing up the past. Again, they're not answering the question. You're bringing up the past because they never answered the question. So what are they doing? They're deflecting, okay? They are deflecting and not answering your question. Shady, shady, shady. You're dealing with a shady person that is trying to get out of taking accountability. You guys, you got to recognize this. So what are some other things that a narcissist will say, excuse me, when they're gaslighting you? They'll say things to you like, you're so sensitive, or why do you take everything to heart? Again, what are we dealing with? Deflection. They are attacking you. Or they'll say something like, you always want to bring up the same thing over and over again. Or sometimes when they're gaslighting, they'll just flat out say something like, well, that never happened. Or I don't know what you're thinking, okay? They'll tell you things like, you're crazy, you're making that up, I don't know what you want me to say, it's your fault. And what do? When they start hitting a wall, they start blame shifting and just say, well, it's your fault, okay? And then they try to triangulate and say, well, everybody agrees with me. Even Aunt Joan agrees with me that you're crazy. They'll say what they're trying to do is they're trying to downplay things, okay? They're either trying to do the stupid routine, the amnesia, I don't remember, or they're going to attack you. Excuse me. They're going to attack you, call you crazy, call you sensitive. Oh, there's something wrong with you. Then they'll try to bring the mental card into it and say, you really have mental issues. You need to talk to somebody. What is all of this, you guys? It is deflection, deflecting out of taking accountability. And what does that do? If you're not sharp with it, you're going to start to question yourself and you'll say, well, maybe I do ask a lot of questions. Maybe I am sensitive. Maybe I am overreacting. No, you are acting that way for a reason. The reason is because the narcissist did something shady. So now you're calling them out on it. But what the narcissist has to do as a defense is to gaslight you and confuse you. And how do they do that? By making you the problem, okay? Making you that problem. Making you seem like you're a mental nut. Like when they tell you, oh, it was a joke. And what is it? You can't take a joke or anything like that. So now again, they're trying to make it like you're sensitive. Oh, stop being so sensitive. Nobody could say anything to you. You're all about the drama. Nobody says you're all about the drama more than a narcissist who is drama, okay? And they also try to guilt trip you too. And they'll say, I can't believe you're bringing this up. After all I've done for you, after I have gone out of my way for you, I can't believe that you would even bring this up. This now is to make guilt trip you and make you feel bad that you're trying to, get the narcissist to be accountable and they did maybe one thing for you, but now they're throwing up in your face. After everything I did to you, see, to a narcissist, they feel like they've done everything to you. They've walked across water for you, all right? And you have done nothing for them. It's all about what they did for you. They'll never acknowledge what you do for them. It's always what they did for you, okay? And then they love to triangulate, and they'll say things like, you have a problem with everybody. They love that one. They love to say, you have a problem with everybody. Again, triangulation, to make you feel like you're less than and that there's something wrong with you, okay? So, you guys, the way they do it is to deflect and then throw it on you, and then they'll start with the insults and criticizing you. They'll say things like, you ought to look in the mirror, okay? Why don't you take a look in the mirror at what you do? You think you're perfect? Why don't you take a look in the mirror? Again, what are they doing? They're gaslighting you. They're not answering the question. They're flipping it over. They're shifting over the focus onto you. So you have to recognize this. Or they love to say you're exaggerating. Oh, you make a big deal out of nothing, all right? So you guys, or they try to downplay things, and they'll say things like, can't we just let it go? Can't we just let it go? Just let it go, all right? Nobody wants to let it go more than a narcissist, but if you ever did something to a narcissist, they'll never let it go, okay? So, you guys, these are all ways that they gaslight you. You got to recognize it when it happens, all right? And the other thing, too, that they love to say is, I already talked about this. I'm not talking about this anymore. Stop bringing it up. We already talked. I thought we're over this. Why do you keep bringing it up? You're bringing it up because it was never resolved, okay? The narcissist never resolved it with you. So, yeah, of course you're going to fucking bring it up, but they're going to say, well, we already talked about it. I'm not going to go on about this. You need help. You need therapy. They try to make you out to be the mental card, okay? So they're going to say anything under the sun to make you feel guilty. There's something wrong with you. You're the one with the problem. But what are they doing, you guys? They're not answering the question, okay? And they're not taking accountability. It is, what do I always say? And I've said it before, it is deflection. This is how they fight, by deflecting, by, flipping the blame onto you and making you seem like you're the problem. They will always project that toxicity and that shame onto you, okay? So recognize all these things, and when you're dealing with somebody that just isn't talking straight and isn't being transparent, that's when you have to say, we're done here. Don't go back and forth with them, because all you're going to do is exhaust yourself, and then you're making yourself look like you're giving them too much attention. Do not feed into their BS. Walk away, and that's your way of letting them know, no, I'm not entertaining nonsense. I'm out, okay? You play your games with somebody else. I'm out. And then just, you guys, it's a wrap. Fly the flag and walk away, and don't deal with that person. And if you have to deal with them, whether it's kids or whatever it is, strictly facts regarding to the children via text, document everything, and if they don't follow it, the court order, you take them to court. Period, dot, end of story, okay? This is how you deal with these people. You document everything. If you're in a situation where you've got to deal with them and go to court, you want to back up whatever you say and show that judge. So their gaslighting won't fly in court with a hard judge. Trust me when I tell you, because I've been through it. And I've seen narcissists get slammed in court with this because, it's all about the facts, and they don't talk facts. They're not about the truth. And that's how a narcissist gets nailed. They get nailed in court when they can't back up what they're saying, all right? So I hope that helps you guys to understand gaslighting. Remember what I told you. Any kind of confusion that you feel, you're dealing with a shady person and probably a narcissist. That's your red flag. Don't even bother. Let me step back. I'm dealing with toxic. I'm dealing with a liar. Liar, okay? We don't deal with liars, and we don't go back and forth with liars, because you won't get the truth out of a liar, all right? You just don't deal with them. So walk away, you guys. I hope that helps you. If it does, hit the subscribe button, and please share the podcast, and have a great day. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship and you need some clarity on it, go to the link in the podcast description for my website, where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio, where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that the Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. Check out the link in the bio, and you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at The Game EXP123, and also on Instagram, The Game EXP123. Okay? And have a great day.